So to build a handicap ramp to code, you must rise a maximum of 1 inch per every foot that you run. And so if you've got a foot that you've gone, you can only go up 1 inch to 1 foot. Now if we change this to 12 inches, that's a 1 to 12 ratio. And so let's find this maximum angle theta, because it could be less than 1 inch if they're not going to be able to. And the code also says that you have to be able to have a rest stop, a flat area for every so far that you run, but we won't get into all that. So 1 to 12. And so this is the opposite side of the angle, and this is the adjacent side. Opposite and adjacent. And so we're talking about the tangent. And so the tangent of some angle, the ratio between that has to be the opposite over the adjacent, or the tangent of that angle has to be 1 over 12. And so in order to find this angle, you have to free it from the tangent. And so what we do is we take the inverse tangent of both sides. It's the inverse operation, and so we use this -1 because inverse functions use the -1. This is not the same as cotangent, not the same as 1 over tangent, but it's the undoes the tangent. So inverse tangent of 1 over 12 on this side, and so on the left we get theta, and on the right we go to our calculator, making sure that we're in the proper mode. I want to be in degrees because I want a degree measure to come out of this. And so we get 4.76 degrees, or let's just say 4.8 degrees is the maximum. Yeah, we round it up. But 4.8 degrees is the maximum angle you can have. So if you have the sine or the cosine or the tangent of some angle equal to a ratio, equal to the ratio. Let's just practice. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent opposite over adjacent. And that's the one we just had. So you could take inverse sine of opposite over hypotenuse to get that angle. You could take inverse cosine of adjacent over hypotenuse to get that angle. You could take inverse tangent of opposite over adjacent to get the other angle. And that's what we just ended up doing. So you're setting up a volleyball net in your backyard. You've got an 8-foot pole. Which will stand straight, supported by 12-foot ropes on either side. And so we've got 12-foot ropes. Imagine this volleyball net's going back here. And so you have 12-foot ropes. What will the angle be between the support rope and the pole? So I'm looking for this angle. And so we could find this side by using Pythagorean theorem if we wanted to, but the way it's set up, we have the adjacent to the angle and the hypotenuse. Notice that your angle, your pole's standing up straight, and so this is a right angle to the ground. And so adjacent over hypotenuse is the cosine of the angle is 8 over 12. And so inverse cosine of the cosine of the angle is going to just give you the theta, the angle. So inverse cosine of 8 over 12, and again dealing in degrees, inverse cosine of 8 over 12, 48.2 degrees. So draw your picture, figure out what your angle is that you're looking for, and figure out what side you have, adjacent, opposite, hypotenuse, whatever it is, and then pick out your trig ratio. write your equation and solve it. That's how you deal with inverse trig functions, meaning how do you find the angle, things like that.